This is actually the last ever video I will be filming on this camera, because I have just sold it on eBay, and you know what? I got a better deal than I put up. So I put it on auction for like £160. I thought it was going to go for 180 maybe at a stretch, but it actually went for £285, so that was pretty sick. And yeah, so I've sold this, and I'm gonna basically buy a slightly better camera. I say slightly better, for me it's just like so much better. So I might not be able to make a video until that comes, which shouldn't be that long. I don't know, I don't really know, to be honest, but I just thought I'd put it out there. This is the last video from this camera. End of an era. A very short era, at least. But yeah, I wanted to talk about how you can conquer 2023, because new year means new you, new resolutions. Although I'm not gonna lie, I actually really don't like the idea of having New Year's resolutions. Like, I don't really believe in it too much. The reason why I don't like New Year's resolutions that much is because realistically, it's the idea of like a fresh start, right? Fresh beginning. And then you're kind of riding on some sort of the new year wave, the new year hype. And when it comes to, I don't know, 1 month later, people just tend to give up, because it was like trendy at the time and it's before January and it kind of is motivational. That's why I don't really believe in it. But the thing is, you should have New Year's resolutions. Like, you should have it every step of the way, you know, every single month, every single day. But yeah, I wanted to kind of discuss how you can rethink the way you have New Year's resolutions, because I think a lot of people might stick to the generic ones, like go to the gym, eat right, I don't know, the really basic ones, or like they don't really know what to have. And I can kind of go through a very specific way where you can decide what kind of things that you want to improve in your life. And really it's to kind of reflect and to realize that there are specific areas in your life. Some areas are strong. You're doing quite well in those specific areas, but then there are other areas where you need to put some more work into, or you feel like you need to elevate. And to really do that and to really level up, it's first identify those areas. And some of the key places here are stuff like, number one is health. So maybe you're someone that doesn't really go to the gym, or maybe you're someone that doesn't really do any sort of fitness. This might be a time. This is a good time to just start. I always say start very small, because if you get someone that's never swam before and you put them straight into the deep end, they're going to drown, okay? They're not going to magically float and start swimming like a professional swimmer. No, that's not going to happen. So you got to start small. So you got to first start with the floats, where something is assisting you. So this is what I mean. So if you're someone that really wants to put some muscle on or something, and you've never even been to the gym, then the first thing you should do is probably, educate yourself on what kind of plan you should be following. Maybe do some research on the internet, watch some videos on this. Maybe you're someone that wants to drive, but obviously with driving it's a bit easier because you just need to find someone to teach you. So it might not be the best example, but what I'm trying to say is start small. Start with the small, identify the big goal, and then start with step one. And don't be afraid to just go in straight for step one, even though it might be very easy at the time, because the only way you can progress is you have to start somewhere, right? So that's one thing. So once you've identified those areas, once you've started small, you start building that kind of momentum, and then it becomes a habit. and once the habit's formed, you can then start to really see consistent results. So that's another thing, is really accountability, because the thing is with New Year's resolutions, most of them fail because we're not really accountable for what we want. So the end goal that you have, you really have to want that, because if you really don't want it enough, then you're just kind of setting yourself a failure, because you're not gonna really put the effort down the line. So I would definitely say just make sure that goal is something that you truly want, and to really know that is, how do you think it would change your life? So whatever goal you have, maybe 6 months down the line or 1 year down the line, how will your life look like? If this is something that, if this kind of change is something that is big, and you feel like, oh wow, my life will be very different, I would actually prefer to have that kind of lifestyle, then maybe that is definitely the goal for you. And if it's something that it doesn't, then maybe it's not. So yeah, that's that thing. But the idea of how to conquer 2023 really is, you've just got to identify those areas that you're lacking. So for example, for me, I would say, I go to the gym very often, like 3 times a week. That's the most at the moment I can do. But so I think that's okay for me. But I would say time management is something I would like to really knuckle down, because I feel like sometimes it can be draining when you have so much going on and you don't really prioritize the key things. So yeah, time management is something I would want to progress on. I'd also say mental strength when it comes down to food choices, because even though I do go to gym, my diet is not the greatest. I'm gonna hold my hands up here, and it's really not like what I want to be. And if I look into the kind of future, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, then I know it will change my life, because your diet has so much influence over so many things: your body, the way you think, your hormones, your physique. I guess that's your body, but yeah. So I know 6 months down the line, I would really like to have visible abs again. I don't at the moment, so diet is definitely a big factor in this. So in order for me to really dominate my diet, I would say it just comes down to being in certain situations, because maybe I'm just out with my friends and we're like, oh, let's go to this food place, and I order fried chicken, and that's not great. Or I order some chips. I'd say within reason, maybe not have as many cheat meals as I do. But no, that's what I would say. So it's just identify those key things that you think that will definitely change your life, and make sure that goal is something that you're very passionate about, and there is an end goal to it, and you've identified how it will change your life. And then work backwards, find the steps, and don't be afraid to start small, to go with the basics, because you have to master it one step at a time. And honestly, it's just compound interest from there. It just rolls. Maybe come back to this video in 6 months time and just look back and be like, whoa, I had that goal in mind, and now I've conquered the goal, and look how different my life is. That's something I would definitely be proud of myself for. So if you can do that, good on you. That would be amazing. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and Happy New Year, I guess. Take it easy.